Okay, so the power of quotient law. You can do either, like I usually like to write it as a fraction, as I told you earlier, right? But you don't have to. I see better with fractions. That's me personally. I don't like that division there. So I usually write it like this. Again, this is a step that you don't have to do. Okay, so what happens here is that 2 also distributes to both terms inside your bracket, right? It multiplies. So that's going to be x to the power of 8 over y to the power of 6. And then you leave it. You can't do anything because you can't simplify. X and y, they're 2 different terms. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So, this multiplication, in here in the bracket we had division. What do we have in this bracket? Subtraction. Now, with subtraction, can I just distribute the 2 in? Why? No, yes. Okay, let's go back here. What did you used to do when you had something like this? You write it twice and then? What was the process called? Foil, right? And then if I foil, I get x squared minus 1x minus 1x plus 1. And then I collect like terms. So I end up with x squared minus 2x plus 1. Right? How many terms did I end up with here? 3. Okay? If I do this, how many terms would I end up with? What are you missing? The middle term. So you can't, when it's a minus or a plus inside your bracket, you can't just distribute. The distribution only happens if inside your bracket is a multiplication and a division. Okay? So if inside your bracket you have a division or you have multiplication, this is when you do the distribution with the power. Okay? If it's a minus or a plus, you can't do that. You have to do the FOIL. You have to write this 2 times. And then you have to distribute. Okay? So now let's do the FOIL. x4 times x4 gives me? x4 times x4 gives me? x8, because you add your exponent. 4 plus 4 is 8. x4 times negative y cubed. That's going to be negative x4 y cubed. Then, negative y cubed times x4, negative y cubed x4, can I write it as x4 y cubed? Same thing. x4 y cubed x4 is the same thing. Then the last one is I'm going to multiply the negative y cubed by negative y cubed, so that gives me plus y6. I have lost faces. It is. Okay, let me try something else with you here. Let me try to write this here. Yes, we have to collect like terms, so the answer is going to be y equals x8. My like term is this, negative 1, so that's negative 2 x4 y cubed plus y6. Okay, because I collect the 2 like terms in the middle. They're both negative 1. So negative 1 minus 1, that's negative 2. And I leave the same. Okay. Sorry? Okay, let's look at this again. Eyes on me. Put your pencils down because you've already written it. Look. Foiling means I have to multiply first by first, right? So I have to multiply x4 by x4, yes? Do we understand that? I will simplify later. Then I have to multiply the x4 by the negative y cube. Yes? So that's going to be negative x4 y cube. Then I have to multiply the negative y cube by the x4. I'm just going to write it. It doesn't matter which order you write it in because it's multiplication. Are we okay with that? Then the last one is negative y cube times negative y cube. So that's negative y cube. Negative and negative makes a positive. So y cube times y cube. Okay? So I just learned that x4 times x4 gives me x8 because I add my exponent. This I can't simplify, so I'm going to write it as is. This I can't simplify, so I'm going to write it as is. And I learned if I'm multiplying, what do I do with the exponent? Add them if I have the same base. Yes? So are we good up till now? Now, you have negative 1 x to the power 4 y cube and a negative 1 x to the 4 y cube. What do? Add them. That's right. So you just, in this case, when you're just adding the coefficient. So that's going to be negative 2 x4 y cubed and then plus y to the power of 6.
Damn, I was saying it was so easy, but no, I get lost.
Two of the same what? Two of the same term. They're like terms, right? It's like when we used to have, let's say, if you used to have 2x plus 5x, what did you do? Add the coefficient, 7x, right? Same here. You have negative 1x4 y cubed minus 1x4 y cubed. You just add the coefficient. Yeah. That one, if you don't have any number in front of your letter, it's a 1. Remember, we say an apple, right? It's the same thing.
So then why is there 1 in front of y?
Because this is one term altogether. Okay? When they're multiplied, they're one term.
The same thing for the x to the power of 4 plus y to the power of 8.
Which one? Yeah. If it's plus, also you do the FOIL. Okay? Yeah. This one? Just I'm showing how did we get the x8. Why did we get x8? Because if I multiply x4 times x4, right? Basically it's x8. I showed this example right here without this step. Okay? This is just for people to understand why is it x8. Okay?
Could you go back over the first example, please?
Which one? This one?
Yes, please.
That's exactly the same as this. It's as I said, I just included one extra step here, which I did not include here, just to show you guys where we're getting the x8 and the y6 from. Okay? Okay, here's what I want you to do right now. There's the examples right here. Okay? You can do these examples. This one here, E, is similar to the one that we just did, so you can also practice that. Okay?